My name is Luis Antonio Otero. I'm a mastering engineer here at Midnight Mastering. We're conveniently located in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. So I love classical music projects and electronic music, but I mean, it's all a lot of fun. When you get the tracks in here and you get to working on them, you just go with the vibe, and you can spend hours in here just working on tracks and vibing with all sorts of different styles of music. Anything from country, rock, techno, EDM, heavy metal, death metal, anything that comes our way. I have been professionally mastering since 2007. I worked at Circle House, Hit Factory, Studio Center, Vanquish Studios, all here in South Florida. My first start in the industry started playing clarinet and bass guitar in middle school and high school, and then DJing in a lot of different clubs in South Florida, and eventually making my way into a small studio on Red Road in Miami, where I was asked to accompany a sound engineer and just do little tasks here and there for him, and eventually I found that I really loved it, so I went to school, SAE, School of Audio Engineering, and I got my degree out there and started tracking and mixing for a lot of different bands. I started as an assistant engineer at Circle House, did some engineering work there, and then moved on to my own clients. At the heart of the studio is the Mytek 8x192 A to D, D to A converter that I use, which is DSD ready for high-end formats. Then at the beginning of the chain, I have a multi-band compressor to clean up mixes. I have a Manley Verimu compressor, tube compressor, that I utilize to give the music presence. I have an Avalon 2055 and a Manley massive passive EQ to EQ the music where I would like it to be. I have a Fatso that I utilize in parallel processing for tape saturation. And then what controls everything is this Manley backbone. So obviously I use a lot of Manley gear. Thank you, Eva. The speakers that I use are a pair of near field speakers, the NS10Ms, which I use to hear what the tracking and mixing engineers are listening to in their environments, and then a pair of full range monitors, the B&W 802Ns. I happen to really like those speakers, and they have a much broader range of frequency range that I can listen to and gauge what I want to do in my mastering. My DAW preference is Sequoia. I kind of follow this 90-10 rule, where 90% analog gear, 10% digital. I think plugins today are sophisticated and good sounding enough where you can do some really, really good work in the box. But my preference is to work outside of the box to grab all of the richness of this analog gear and then to bring it back into Sequoia. Most of the clients that I have that come in because they want the analog gear sound. They don't want digital. Most of the guys that do digital, they could do it out of their room if they want it, but you can't really master in a room outside of your house unless it's properly treated. And that's another really big aspect to mastering, is having a balanced room where everything is flat and you can really tell what's going on in the mix. And then enriching the mix with analog gear, sweetening it up. Our job is to make sure we give the clients exactly what they want. And that, I think, is the most important thing that you can learn in order to be successful in this industry. So I want to thank Jeff Hedbeck and Marco Ruffalo for working on the acoustics in this place. This place would not be possible without you guys. Thank you so very much. So if you need your track mastered, feel free to reach us at our website at www.midnightmastering.com and ask for Louis. This is Luis Otero from Midnight Mastering in South Florida. We look forward to seeing you here sometime soon.